The film begins with a young man named Miyamoto Musashi, who is a samurai facing many enemies. With his skills, many people from the samurai school wanted to kill him, especially the Yoshioka clan college. Musashi, who is quiet and doesn't talk much, looks very good at using his sword against his enemies. He is also known as Crazy Samurai Musashi. He got that title because any enemy or opponent he met would be killed by him without exception. Even though Musashi faced many enemies, he was never afraid to face them. Even when Musashi was old, he was still being targeted by enemies who wanted to kill him. Even so, he can still defeat all enemies that come in one attack. But before we continue the video, we want to thank CyberGhost VPN for sponsoring this video. Did you know that one of the safest ways to protect yourself from hackers and malicious websites is actually using a VPN? Obviously, everyone nowadays needs a VPN. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and CyberGhost VPN is one of the best on the market today. With CyberGhost VPN, all your traffic goes through a secure VPN tunnel, your IP address is hidden, and your data is encrypted. The good news is CyberGhost VPN is available for all platforms: Windows, Mac OS, Android, iOS, and many others. They have a strict no logs policy, so no one will know about your online activity, not even CyberGhost VPN themselves. For more convenience in accessing various websites, you can use one subscription to protect up to 7 devices at a time so you can share with your family and friends. There's a 45-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support, so everything is risk-free. Right now, CyberGhost VPN is running a huge discount ever, just $2.23 a month, plus 4 months free, which is 83% off. Now you can access geo-restricted content from websites, YouTube, social media networks, find better deals online, play games blocked in your region, protect your identity by keeping your data encrypted, and even get blocked libraries of over 40 streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney+, and many more. Now is the time for you to join more than 38 million users satisfied with enjoying all the features that CyberGhost VPN offers. Moreover, CyberGhost VPN has 5 stars on Trustpilot, so it's definitely one of the best VPNs in the market. Pick up this awesome offer available just for you. It's located in the pinned comment below and in the description. Start protecting yourself today. Don't forget to click on the description link to get the special discount. This app will protect your data while you browse and give you full access to all blocked content on the internet for $2.23 a month only. Totally risk-free, so check it out. Link in the description. The scene changes to a boy named Madashihiro, who is playing with a butterfly in the yard. Madashi is the future leader of the Yoshioka clan. Then there is a young man named Shusuke who approaches him. Shusuke continues to try to convince Madashi not to be afraid and worried about the situation he will face in the future after he becomes the leader of the Yoshioka clan. Not long after, Madashi saw that there were many men hiding around the forest while watching him. These people are assassins ordered by the Yoshioka clan college to guard Madashi, as well as people who will hunt Musashi later. Because Musashi is considered a figure full of deceit, the Yoshioka clan leader will make plans and make a fighting strategy to kill him. Yoshioka clan college has also mobilized 100 samurai, consisting of their big family, and 300 assassins to defeat him. It turns out that Musashi is also honored in the Samurai Academy, and his abilities cannot be underestimated. But the main goal of the clan leader to kill him is to take revenge and protect the good name of the Yoshioka clan. Because previously, Musashi had killed their family members named Seijiro and Denshi Shiro, and that made the Yoshioka clan very angry with him. Unwittingly, it turns out that Musashi, who was on a tree, heard the talk of an evil plan from a member of the Yoshioka clan who wanted to kill him. So he jumped and he immediately drew his sword, which split a butterfly as well as Madashi's body until he died. Then, Musashi also killed the head of the Yoshioka clan who was beside the boy. Musashi's sudden appearance surprised the assassins who were hiding. They immediately surrounded him from various directions. Even though there were so many of them, he was still able to fight the assassins alone without the slightest look of fear on his face. After a long fight, Musashi managed to kill off the assassins using his sword. Shortly after, came a man named Nanpo Yoshibi, who was one of the masters of the Yoshioka clan college. After Nanpo's arrival, the remaining assassins left immediately. He intended to face Musashi alone and wanted to kill him immediately, but it turned out that it was Nanpo who was killed by Musashi so easily. Seeing that, the assassins immediately attacked him again in groups. Musashi was already exhausted and felt overwhelmed when he faced them all. But with strong determination, he continued to force himself to defeat all the assassins. Finally, he managed to win and immediately left the place to a house nearby. Arriving at the house, Musashi immediately drinks water and rests for a while. Not long after, a man named Shishido Baiken who intends to kill him arrives. Even though Shishido is not a member of the Yoshioka clan college, he has a grudge against Musashi and wants to kill him. But quickly, Musashi managed to kill him using his sword. Musashi walked out of the house and found that many assassins had kept coming to him. Calmly, he continued to face them alone. After the fight is over, it turns out that Musashi can still win the fight, and after that, he continued his journey while being wary of his surroundings. Musashi went into one of the residents' houses to rest again and drink water. Inside the house, he tries to replace his sword with another sword. While resting, Musashi plans to immediately kill everyone in the college. Not long after, the enemy came back into the house and attacked him. Swiftly, he immediately countered their attacks using his sword that he drew into the bodies of his enemies. After that, Musashi left while running. While outside the house, he was confronted by assassins who came from all directions to attack him. With a face that looked very tired, he continued to attack them with all his might. Sometime later, the fight was over and again won by Musashi, and he immediately rested and drank again. Even though he felt very exhausted, but he had no other choice but to continue to face them all. He was leaning on one of the residents' houses while looking blankly ahead. But not long after, a number of assassins arrived, who were still unaware of Musashi's whereabouts hiding behind the house. Then there are two assassins who are arguing. One of the men said that killing Musashi is an act of madness that will have no end. Just as the two of them were about to fight, Musashi suddenly came and attacked one of the men. Knowing this, the assassins immediately came there to attack Musashi. In the midst of the fight, a man named Weedy Rihai and his troops, members of the Yoshioka clan, shouted at Musashi and wanted to attack him. Calmly, he immediately confronted Weedy and managed to cut his stomach to death on the spot. Seeing that, his troops immediately ran away. After that, Musashi walked to the other house to rest for a while and gulped down the water left in his bottle. When he was in the house, without realizing, there was a woman behind him who was holding firewood. The woman looked very frightened when Musashi found out about her whereabouts. It turned out that he instead offered the woman a piece of his food, but the frightened woman refused. After that, Musashi told her to leave if she was afraid. But as she walked a few steps, the woman instead shouted to the assassins that she was approached by Musashi while pointing at him. Not long after, the assassins came there to confront Musashi again, and he immediately stood up to face them all. He managed to beat them all again one by one with a single attack of his sword. Musashi continued his journey again, but he was blocked by more assassins. With a very visible swing of his sword, he managed to take down his opponents. After all his enemies were killed, Musashi immediately sat back in one of the houses close to him to replace his sword. It's not surprising to see Musashi resting many times because there were so many enemies that came to him, so he couldn't rest for a long time. While resting, Musashi remains wary of his surroundings, given that his enemies are numerous and can attack him at any time. Musashi also wondered how many enemies he had to face again. He was also confused as to why so many enemies wanted to kill him. Then while walking breathlessly, Musashi had to face his enemy again. Annoyed, Musashi shouted, saying that they didn't need to kill him because one day, he too would die. However, more and more assassins came to him and couldn't wait to kill him. Although the enemy this time was very large, with his remaining strength, he continued to swing his sword. Musashi repeatedly managed to catch his breath to attack them all, but the enemy was still endless. After a long fight, Musashi seemed unable to stand up and fell. At that time, Musashi was almost defeated, but he still tried to stand up to fight them one by one. After all the assassins were killed by him, soon a man came calling his name from close range. The man is one of the teachers from Kenji College. He won't let Musashi destroy the Yoshioka clan's school. Musashi, who heard that, immediately walked toward the man without saying a word. He looked ready to kill the teacher in front of him. They both immediately pointed their respective swords at their opponents to start the fight. When their swords clashed, lightning struck and it rained. At first, Musashi fell down due to the teacher's sword thrust, but he immediately stood up again and fought him. And after a long fight, he finally managed to beat the teacher. After that, Musashi thought that the assassins would stop coming to him. It turned out that a group of assassins was still left and surrounded him. They all formed a circle while pointing their swords. Feeling tired and frustrated, Musashi continued to face their attacks as hard as he could, until finally, he managed to win over the assassins. 7 years later, Musashi is still being targeted by enemies who want to kill him. Musashi's life, which is constantly being pursued by the enemy, does not make him surrender to his destiny. He is still good at using his sword, but this time, he fights the enemy in a slightly different way. Now he fights the enemy by sticking a knife on his sword, so he can easily injure the enemies. When Musashi was sitting on the rocky bank of the river, suddenly, a scream came from the forest calling his name. It turns out that the call came from a group of enemies who were about to attack Musashi. Calmly, he turned toward the enemy while standing without a frightened look on his face. The enemy who was ready to attack him immediately drew their swords. Then one of the men reminded him of the massacre that Musashi had committed against the Yoshioka clan college. Calmly, Musashi simply replied that he only wanted to win against the enemy. Seeing the look on Musashi's face that was so calm made the enemies feel annoyed and wanted to attack him. Musashi also challenged the enemy to fight him, making them all feel annoyed. The enemies approached Musashi, who was standing on the bank of the rocky river. Immediately, he took out the knife he had glued to his sword. With his prowess, Musashi was able to finish them off in one hit. At the end of the film, Musashi continues to be hostile to all the samurai sword schools. This is precisely what makes him stronger in fighting and surviving. Even though everyone wanted to kill him and always wanted his life, Musashi was still himself. The moral that can be learned is that the more we antagonize someone and attack them, the stronger that person will be, because they are trained to face many enemies.